Hey everybody, welcome to my office and my studio now. This is where we're going to have the Ruben Israel show, and we're going to be discussing a lot of things that church should be talking about. It's going to be a new program. It'll be at least 45 minutes long. You'll be able to ask questions. I believe we even have an 800 number that you can actually phone in on. We're going to be discussing current events, political stories, sins of our nation, such as abortion and homosexuality. We're going to be speaking about other religions, celebrity news. We're going to be talking about diseases that are going on within mankind. We're going to be speaking primarily something that is not politically correct. We'll be talking about laws of our land. We're going to be talking about calamities. Are they a judgment of God? We're going to be talking about the state of the church today, specifically in America. We're going to be discussing racism. We're going to be discussing voting. Should Christians vote? And who do we vote for? We'll be discussing military strikes, and is that considered last days? We'll be talking about Christian persecution. We'll be talking about local news stories that the big networks won't be discussing for some particular reason. We are pro-gun, so we're going to be bringing up pro-gun laws and those that are anti-gun. We're going to be speaking of last days and conspiracies. Our show is going to cover a lot of topics, just like our preaching. We're not limited to just the gospel. We cover a lot of sin. 66 books in our Holy Bible. That means we get to cover a lot of different topics, and that we do. And as a street preacher, I have an opinion, and I have an opinion based on biblical principle. Unfortunately, we live in a church service today where the minister doesn't like to talk about current events, bring up sin. Church has become the problem, okay? This isn't a political show where I'm going to blame Democrats and praise Republicans. We're going to point out the error on both of them. But if I'm going to be blaming somebody, it's the church. Judgment begins in the house of God. So this show that we're going to have is going to have a lot of biblical principle. And if you like my Facebook page, you like the raw humor and the message that I portray there on my Facebook page, you'll love the Ruben Israel Show. If you enjoy watching our videos, how we're very blunt, just like the sin in the streets of America are extremely blunt, you may like our live show that we're going to be doing. And I do encourage you to understand churches are not going to be discussing these things because they're a 501c3 and they don't want to lose that support. They want that tax exemption, and so they're going to avoid speaking of politicians, speaking of particular sin. I'm not 501c3. In fact, I would have probably had it withdrawn from me 25 years ago. But I do have something to say on behalf of God. And in America, we need to actually know the God of the Bible. We have an incredible history of God in our country, specifically the God of the Bible. Not a generic God, but specifically some of our old monuments have Bible verses, 10 commandments that we're removing now. We're going to discuss this stuff. And this is a place where if you are a lukewarm Christian, you might want to go elsewhere. But if you're an active Christian who doesn't mind serving God and is not ashamed of the gospel, you're going to enjoy our topics and how they go. I am not a patriot. I am a Christian patriot. I am willing to fight for my freedom in this country, and I'm willing to die for my faith. Completely different. There's a lot of patriots out there that they may love my view on politics, but they're unsaved. There's unsaved patriots. Nothing wrong with being a patriot. For heaven's sake, be a Christian patriot. And that's what this program is going to be. So I encourage you to make some time. There'll be a date and a time, location where you can get to know us. It'll be open for questions, and if there's a particular topic you want, you can submit that, and we'll discuss it. We're going to talk about anything. If it's going on in the streets of America, we're going to discuss it within this studio, and we're not ashamed to bring up what God has to say about it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you watch it. Hope you make it happen. Signing off from my studio/office here in Los Angeles. God bless you.